All right. So the first thing that's going to be on your test is going to be algebra. Just basic solving equations and solving for y. So the first thing is solve x. There's a lot of steps in it, so there's a lot of like not getting 100 is nothing to be ashamed of here. So 3x plus 2 equals 14. So you just solve for x. So you do whatever you need to do. Guys, this is on the recording. Please, you're over talking me. People are going to be mad when they listen to the recording later, saying I can't hear Mr. Total. So x equals 4. So that one's that.
Can you put like a title for this?
No. 3x plus 2x minus 7 equals 6x plus 2.
So you do distribute first.
So I'm going to distribute this. So 6x plus 12. For these, I'm going to combine like terms. Please don't make the mistake of doing like minus 2 on both sides. That's a common mistake because you're all thinking, oh, I got to move things to the other side. These are on the same side, so you just combine them like terms. So this becomes 5x minus 7. I always move the smallest x. So minus 5x, x plus 12 equals, left over here is just negative 7, minus 12, negative 7 minus 12, I'm going deeper down. So this is going to be negative 19. So negative 19 equals x. And of course, if you're ever in a situation where you want to check your work, you can always plug them back in.
Is it only like types of questions like this?
Like I'm going to go over them all, but this will be the first section of your test. Yeah?
Wait, and this is called what? What's the title of this?
Algebraic expressions. Yeah, solve for x. Solve x. Solve for x, I guess, is more proper. Okay? I'm going to make it a little bit smaller.
God damn.
Put that over here. All right. Negative 7. All right. The second part of your test is going to be solve for y.
Oh, you got a haircut. You can sit there.
So solve for y. So when we solve for y, we're getting y by itself. So even though we have x as a variable, we don't care. We're just moving everything away to get y by itself. So let's do 3x plus 2y equals 10. So everything, your whole job is to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. Notice I'm not getting x by itself, I'm getting y by itself. So 2y equals 10 minus 3x. Or negative 3x plus 10.
Why do you get 2y? Oh.
Why can't you just make x or y 0?
I'm not plugging in. I'm solving for y. If I told you to plug in something.
Why is it minus 3x? Yeah.
It's plus. It's this is a good question. It's plus 3x compared to the y. Since we're isolating a y, we have to see the relationship with y. Usually, like in this one, we just had it as x, right? It's compared to x, so that's why we divide by 3. But the relationship between 3x and y is that it's adding to each other. So I had to do.
Like on the bottom where you do 2y equals 10 minus 3x. Isn't it 2y?
Oh, you cannot combine them because this is a 10 and this is a 3x. They don't have like terms.
Okay.
Oh, so you just write it?
You just have to put them next to each other. You can't combine them. Then you're going to divide by 2. It's very important to remember you're dividing 2 on everything here. So y equals 10 minus 3x divided by 2.
Can you just leave it like that?
Since y is by itself, you have accomplished your goal. You leave it by itself.
You also can't solve that, right? Can you?
Unless I give you one of the numbers. If I told you x is 4. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a rumor.
You've been judged.
And we're recording. Please be quiet.
Wait, I'm so confused. So,
Yeah.
S 10 minus 3x? Why?
Y is by itself. That's our goal.
Oh, why still has a 2 next? Oh, now it doesn't. Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have solve for x, solve for y. That's probably going to be the first page. On the second page of the test, we're going to have inequalities.
Wait, can you go back for a second?
Sure. But the second page you're going to have is inequalities.
For an hour and a half. When is it?
I actually want to like throw myself off a bridge for that. What do we have?
No,
Again,
we
please, this is
wanna
recorded.
throw ourselves off a bridge more. We have a speaker
Six
in
at the end of the day.
sociology. No, we have a speaker in sociology. And then right after sociology, we have our hour and a half speaker. So we have a speaker for 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe being at the end of the day also, it'll take asking to get shot.
Again, this is being recorded. Please
Oh.
stop suggesting ways to punch your own ticket, okay? Like, you got to stop doing that. No, I don't want to, unless he's interested in algebra.
You gotta take the voice off.
I can't. I'm talking about how to do it, though. And I'm not going to censor. I'm not going to go edit this. Like,
I can't wait to listen to this.
beep. I have a 2-hour speaker, and then I beep. Like, I can't. And I just want to beep. Like, I can't do that, you know?
Obviously, it just needs to get.
This speaker's gonna make me want to beep.
Beep, beep.
I can't wait to listen to this.
So inequalities. So that's the greater thans or less thans. In this section, you're not only going to have to solve for the x, you're going to have to graph. Yes, like exactly.
With the line.
Yes. So something like this will happen.
-2.
So we -2 on both sides. 3x is greater than 12. Then divided by 3 on both sides.
Oh, it's basically just like
X is greater than 4. So the math itself is exactly like an equal sign.
But it's just like instead it's that.
Is that, and then we're going to have to make a number line.
Oh my god.
So it's 4 in the middle.
You're recording.
Open to the right.
This is going to be an open circle because it's just greater than. If it's greater than or equal to, it will be a closed circle.
Right.
So open circle. X is bigger than 4.
Right.
Right, because you got. So X is bigger than 4.
Do you do an
Can
open
you please
circle
write down
every
like a
time?
really easy way just to
No,
remember
if
whether
it's the greater than,
circle,
you know how you do
or
greater
closed
than
circle.
or add under, that's when it's closed.
So if the X
How do
is
you know what
greater,
side to go on, left or right?
He's doing that now or no?
When you do,
Oh,
you have like a number
oh,
line.
it has a line under it.
On the left side,
Okay.
goes like
Wait, what do you mean close?
under 4.
I'll do one with close to show.
And
How
on
do
the
you know
right,
which
go
side?
4,
How do you know
go
which
5,
side,
6,
left or
7,
right it's
8, so
going?
it says greater.
You have to read it out. So X is bigger than 4. So which way is bigger, to the right or to the left?
Yeah.
No, to the right. Number lines always go left to right.
It's just like how you would do.
You have to read
like
it.
a graph line.
Okay. All right, what did I do for the other one? Let me just check. Okay. 3x plus 2x minus 7 is less than or equal to, what did I do? 6x plus 2. And the reason I'm just reusing this is to show you, mathematically, it's the same thing. This one on purpose I'm showing you to give you another point too.
Wait, so is this problem like this long that we are testing?
Yeah. So 3x plus 2x is 5x minus 7. Less than or equal to, distribute to 6. 6x plus 12.
Wait a second, you put it on like the graph line. You just like don't do the circle.
You put an open circle, so it's like that.
That's the same circle.
First, there's a closed circle, looks like this.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you get 12 from?
I'll let you look at the arrows and hopefully you figure it out.
Right, so close. Oh, okay.
All right, minus 5x minus 5x negative 7 is less than or equal to x plus 12 minus 12 minus 12 negative 19 is less than or equal to x.
If you said you can combine when it's on the same side as the equal sign, there's no equal sign. You mean the same? It could be here would be the same size of the less than or greater than.
I don't know what you're saying.
I have a question.
You know how you said like you can combine the x's if it's on the same side as
Yes.
the equal sign?
So I did that here, but
So
here,
you can only combine it because it's before the less than or greater than.
not necessarily. It's just because it's on the same side. So if it was before or after, it doesn't matter. But if they're both before or they're both after,
I have no idea where I went wrong.
it's 12, not 2. That's why.
I have a question.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you know not to like do my plus 7 on each
Naomi, you're
side?
talking.
Because you want to get the x alone, so you move the 12 away.
You want
Not
to get the x alone?
yes.
So you want to get the 12? I don't get it.
Let me
There's
get
no 12 on either side, though.
I know. No, there's 12
There's
here.
no x on either side.
There's X right here, bro.
If I don't come back,
So that's 7x.
No.
What is it?
It's -7 less than or equal to. This is separate. X plus 12. So I subtract 12 on both sides.
Why do you subtract 7 on both sides? I mean, add 7 on both sides.
Because X is on the right side, so I don't want to move it.
Yeah, it's on the right side.
It's physically on the right side.
No, it's not.
Oh, my
Sit down.
No, it's not. How? It's in the middle.
Get away. Just sit down. I can't help you anymore.
But the
You
X
figure
is
it out
not-
later. Check the footage later.
But the x is in the middle.
No, I mean, I'm done.
How is it on the right side?
So -19 is less than or equal to X.
I'm so confused.
-19 is less than or equal to X. So X is bigger than -19. No, pay attention here because you will mess this up if you don't pay attention. -19 is smaller than X. Another way you can think about that is Mosh.
The alligator eating wants to eat more.
Yes. X is bigger than -19. So if it's bigger than -19, which way am I drawing?
Bigger is left.
Right.
Why is it bigger?
Because the open side, the arrow, like the open side of the arrow, or the alligator, or sometimes, or the Pac-Man, is facing the bigger side. So X is going to be bigger than -19. So we're going to do a closed circle and color to the right.
Why?
Because
Oh,
X
but
is
let's say-
bigger.
Let's say it was X is less than or greater than -19.
Then it'll go to the left. To the left.
But only because it's facing the X.
Yes.
Like it's eating it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to eat the bigger side.
So
X is bigger here. X is bigger here.
Personal question.
Tell me what.
I'm just so confused. How do you know x is bigger?
This symbol tells me.
Alligator.
This symbol tells me.
Alligator wants to eat more.
Even though
Oh, okay.
even though -19 says less
It's
than,
bigger,
it's still
this is
facing the
less.
X.
Bigger,
It's
like
like
less, right?
Yes. Wait. Let me see one more time just to make sure. So you read it left to right. So. Okay, you got it wrong. You just reverse. A is less than B, so you got it reversed. Swap all the biggers and less. -19 is less than X, which in other words, X is bigger than 19. No, it's left to right. I would read this, -19 is less than X.
But really X is greater.
But you should realize that's the same thing as saying X is bigger than 19.
So that's just like.
If we get the open and the closed circle right, we get the way it goes wrong.
You're going to get points off, yeah. All right. Next one.
Why do we have to wear blue? Like, I have to go for the blue.
You guys all come to the hockey tomorrow night? 7 o'clock.
I want to go to the hockey, but I have to go to
The
the
last
wrestling.
undefeated team. Are you going to TBC?
I have to go to the
Yeah, like,
The
you
last
know,
undefeated team in the hockey in the Shiba League is coming to Cushner tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
I'd rather watch hockey than wrestling.
Obviously.
That's the one I was
Mr. Toby, you're coming tomorrow night?
I have to do the basketball game
7 o'clock Eastern. Who's basketball?
tomorrow.
I want to
You guys.
I'm not playing that.
I guess the JV does. I don't know.
Could be, yes.
Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Are you posting this on Google Classroom?
Wait, what time is the basketball game?
Is it 7? Yeah. I have to check my text,
So
but I
you're
think it's
posting
7.
you yelling at me on Google Classroom?
Yes. And then when people record it, they'll be like, yeah, you kind of deserve it. I'm going to tell you right now, okay? All right.
Student basketball game where it's gonna get whooped.
Somebody stepped on my toe yesterday. Now I'm limping, so hopefully I heal. Well, stomped on my toe, I guess is more accurate. Yeah. All right. Hey, this is one term. You're going to do this absolutely wrong if you don't pay attention. You're going to split this into two things.
Wait, what's this stuff called? What's the topic called?
Inequality, so.
Okay.
So the first thing, I'm going to split it with the first piece here. So I'm going to do 3 is less than or equal to 7x minus 4. And then on the other part, I'm going to split it with this part here. 7x minus 4 is less than or equal to 11. I'm treating them as two separate questions. A lot of time people make the mistake and think, oh, this is just one big equation. No, split into two separate things. We'll graph it at the end. So in this one, I'm going to plus 4 on both sides. So I get 7 is less than or equal to 7x. And then I'm going to Divide 7 on both sides.
So x is less than or equal to
No. 7 divided by 7 is
1.
1 is less than or equal to x. That's our first answer. On the right over here,
Can you
plus 4, plus 4. Oh, you guys, can you change this to a 10 actually? Let's put like a little, so it'll be a clean number for you guys. Change that to a 10. So put a little circle of the thing here. Okay. So 7x is less than or equal to 14 divided by 7 divided by 7. X is less than or equal to what?
Wait, how would you know to
Two.
like split
Two.
the problem?
What's up?
How would when it looks
You
like
need
that?
when it looks like this. So you need to know when it looks like that.
So when it has like 2 less than or equal to
Yes, absolutely. All right. No, you make one number line, and you're going to put the two numbers here. Which one's smaller, 1 or 2? So we put 1 on the left, 2 on the right. Is this going to be a closed circle or open circle?
close.
Closed, because it has the line underneath.
To the right.
This is also closed. Now, 1
like
is smaller than x. 1 is smaller than x.
It's like it's eating itself to the
So
right.
x is bigger than 1, so I'm going this way. And x is smaller than 2, so I'm going to go this way. You notice it's going into the middle. So you only color what's in between 1 and 2.
Wait, I'm so confused. Why
Does it matter if the x is on the right or the left?
When you read it, you want to be careful if it's left or right. So you have to read it out loud. Like 1 is smaller than x. So if 1 is smaller than x, you have to think of it as x is bigger than 1, so I should color to the right in that case.
Why does it go to the middle?
Because we're saying this at the same time, it has to be both true at the same time, which only happens in the middle. So when you see this, you should know you're going to have a middle line like that, okay?
Is that 2 problems in one?
How do you know?
Effectively, mathematically, yeah, but this is considered one problem.
How do you know you're gonna do the
No, 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 give me a
number
second.
line thing? Are you gonna tell us?
What?
How do you know we're gonna do the number line thing? Are you gonna tell us?
You're going to see the symbol, and also in the instruction it says, solve the inequality, graph your results. So when you hear graph your result, that's the number line. That's the
every
graph.
time it has like the 2 symbols, you know.
Yes, yes. If you see the two inequalities, it's going to be like that. Okay? It's going to be inside. Yeah. All right. The third page is going to be absolute value.
Did we go over this stuff yesterday?
We did a little bit, but since I'm doing this in a review, I just want to go over everything.
No, only 3 pages. Or...
Pretty much, unless some reason it doesn't fit, but it's basically 3. I'm sectioning it into 3 big parts.
Okay, wait. So what are the 3 topics called?
You can check the video.
It's the
We have
solve for x,
multi-step equations.
inequalities,
Oh, okay.
and
Linear-
now the
Multi-step
split.
equations. Linear
Is this the
equations,
last one?
inequalities.
Last thing we're going to do is word statements with encompass all 3.
What
You'll
is
see what that
linear-
means.
Linear equation.
That's the y equals.
Oh.
But so for you guys, you're just going to see solve for y. So you don't have to know it's called
Okay,
linear
So
equation.
solve for y is linear equation.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
All right, absolute value. So absolute value, remember, means that whatever I put in here, it becomes positive. So -3 becomes 3. If it's already positive, it stays positive.
If it's negative, it's no solution
So
on your side.
if you're going to have x plus 2 equals 3 in this case, when you have an absolute value, know that inside the absolute value,
How do you get x plus 2?
this is a new question.
Oh.
So x plus 2 equals 3. When inside the absolute value, the result could be 3 or -3. Because if it becomes -3, it will eventually become +3. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this as 2 separate equations. X plus 2 equals +3,
X plus equals negative.
and x plus 2 equals -3. So I'm going to -2 on both sides. X equals 1. That's one of my answers. Good. X equals -5. That's my other answer. Okay. So when you see the absolute value bars, those are straight up bars, you're gonna, it's going to split into 2 equations.
Okay, so now what?
Now, here's another example.
Is that the
If
answer?
those are the 2 answers, yes. 1 and
So
-5.
when you see the bar, it means to split it.
Yeah. If you have a situation where absolute value equals a negative,
It's no solution.
in this case, because the absolute value could never become negative, because by definition, absolute value makes positive, This is no solution. So you could write no solution right away. No math needed. Because it's negative. You cannot have an absolute value result in a negative. Because the only job absolute value does is make something positive. So the question is there anything I could plug in there to make it negative? No, there's no number I could plug in to make that possible. 2 absolute value, x plus 3 equals 10.
I know this.
What would you do?
You do the 2, you divide by 2.
Good. Before you split, you need to get the absolute value completely by itself. So this is 2 times the absolute value. You cannot distribute. That could be a mistake you make. Do not distribute. What you're going to do is remove the 2 so the absolute value is by itself. Just as if it was a variable. You remove everything so to get the absolute value by itself. So it's absolute value x plus 3 equals what now? 5.
Well, what did... Because the 2's cancel out. The 2's cancel out.
Yeah, the 2's cancel out, so this 2 never gets interacted.
So by separate equations, we do x plus 3 equals 5 and x plus 3 equals negative 5.
Perfect. X plus 3 equals 5. X plus 3 equals negative 5. Subtract 3 on both sides. X equals 2. X equals negative 8. And remember, if you plug this in, this will get you your answer. So you don't have to you go check your answer. What? If it didn't, then you didn't get the right answer.
Someone should say something incriminating for the video right now.
What?
Someone should say something incriminating for the video.
Please don't. You already said 2 things that are incriminating that I have to report, but I don't really want to report because your generation just has a self-loathing humor. I don't get it, but that's not me, so. Okay. Also in the absolute value category, 3, no, let's make it simple.
Greater than.
X plus 2 is greater than or equal to, let's say 4. 4. So in this case here, the absolute value x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 4. You're going to split it as 2 separate things. X plus 2 is greater than or equal to 4. X plus 2, but when you do the negative version, you have to flip the sign. So less than or equal to 4. Negative 4. We will graph this at the end.
So it's really just the same thing, except you have to flip it and you have to graph it.
Yes.
Flip what?
Flip the sign.
So x is greater than or equal to 2. And x is less than or equal to negative 6. You would subtract 2 on both sides. So we're going to put this in one number line. Negative 6 is smaller than 2, so I'm going to put that first. Let's read this. X is bigger than 2. So I'm going to do a closed circle here, because this is equal to. And I'm going to go this way. So it's going to go to the
Why are the signs different? Like X.
You have to flip the sign. That's part of the rule when you do the negative, okay?
So it's only negative.
So you have to flip the sign. In this one, negative 6, you put a solid circle and go to the left. Okay? This is your answer. You notice how the inside is empty in this case and it goes opposite directions here. If you... Colored in circles, both of them. Now, if they go towards each other, it's going to look like this previous one where only the inside's filled out. But if they go opposite directions, they just go on to opposite direction. They don't crisscross, okay?
That would be if X is less than 2, go to the middle, and then X
Yes,
is
exactly. Exactly.
greater than.
Negative 6,
Yeah.
yeah. Then it will go inside.
Wait, hold
So
on.
if they go into each other, like if you start graphing and they draw into each other, only color the inside, okay? So if they go towards each other, go to the inside. If they go away from each other, just color the outsides. And you'll know by when you start graphing it, go a little bit so you don't go too far. So in an alternate universe, let's say it was like this, where you had x is less than or equal to 2, and x is greater than or equal to negative 6. You will have a number line, negative 6, 2. X is smaller than 2, so closed circle here, going to the inside. X is bigger than negative 6, so closed circle here, go to the inside. You notice how the inside is the part that's getting colored, okay? So if they go towards each other, you color the inside.
So when it comes to switching the signs, it doesn't matter that x is actually greater than negative 6. It's only because it's a negative that we're switching.
You're switching because you're changing this to a negative, yes. Okay.
Wait, and the right side is positive, the left side is negative?
You always go from small to bigger, so if negative 6 is smaller than 2, so negative 6 go first.
Is that everything or just word statements?
Now we're going to do word statements, which just encompasses the skills you already did. So the hard part is just translating into expression, but then you just do what you've been doing the whole test. So something like this. Yes.
Wait, so what is it? Oh, yes.
So the instructions here would be, I'll tell you what the instructions are. The instructions would be change the following questions into math equations, then solve. Okay. So that'll be instructions. Also, it's the only section where I'm actually writing words, so it should be obvious when you're on this section. Twice x is less than 10. Solve for x.
2x less than 10.
Mm-hmm.
4 times that.
I'll come back up. So 2x is less than, so less than or less than 10. And to solve for x, x is less than 5. In this section, you would not need a graph. You just solve for x.
If it's like less than or equal.
It would say less than or equal to.
Wait,
It
how
has
do
to
you,
say those
how do you
words.
get 5?
Divide by 2 on both sides.
How do you divide?
I'll let you think about that one yourself.
Because there's
It's
no like.
2x. You just divide by 2 on both sides.
X increased.
We have to write that after.
What? You don't have to do the number line, but you do have to solve it. So x is less than 5.
Yeah,
You already did number lines on the previous page. I'm not going to make you do it again. X increased by 3, raised, all raised, to the power of 2 is 25.
We see if we can do it.
What is x?
Yeah, let's even do it by ourselves.
Check out.
I can't even do it.
It's okay. I'll give you like a half a minute and
Yeah,
then I'll
1
start.
second.
I do my best, but
Wait.
That's fine.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. No, don't say anything.
I'm going to say it.
answer?
X increased by 3. So that's x plus 3.
Why in parentheses?
All raised. So all of it is raised to the power of 2. So I got to put a 2 like this. Equals is 25. Now, very important. I am not allowed to distribute 2 because there's a plus sign. So how do I get rid of a power 2?
Wait, so all raised is plus, not the.
No, all raised by the power of 2 would means that everything is going to be parentheses to the power 2.
You're gonna get x plus 3 equals 5.
Well, we need to square root it. So square root here, square root here. That 2 is going to get canceled out
Square rooting.
because it's a square. So I don't need a parenthesis anymore. But x plus 3 equals 5. Because the square root of 25 is
And then solve it.
5.
Subtract 3x.
Minus 3 minus 3. X equals 2. Let's do another one.
You do another one. Just
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If I don't see you, I'm gonna get it.
The difference of x and 10 is equal to twice of twice x. Solve for x. What is x? I should say.
No, I have 8 speakers right now. Oh, your speaker looks so
Oh,
weird.
Julie, did you get away
Oh
with
my
it
god.
yesterday?
It looks like I thought it was
Please, come on. That is like the definition of Lashon. Come on, yo.
Oh, everything.
Just save that for later, okay?
No one said anything.
Blast them later, okay?
Oh, not on the recording?
Yeah, not on the recording, please.
Okay.
It's a mother.
Everything's on the
son,
recording.
they're telling us that.
You yelling at me is on the recording?
Yes, because you asked, why do I subtract 7 or 12 or something?
Difference is.
When they check it out,
What is my speaker?
I understand the wording.
what?
The wording on it, it's obviously the word statement, but that's
Okay.
not how it goes.
Difference. What does difference mean in terms of math? Minus. So the difference of x and 10, so x minus 10, is equal to twice x. How would I write twice x? 2x. So what is x?
Minus x, negative 10.
We have x on both sides,
Add X.
so minus x on both sides.
No, minus.
Minus.
Yeah, you can move it over.
2 minus 1 is just x.
When did it become a negative?
This one?
Like
Or negative 10.
No, yeah, minus 1. Where's the 1?
Oh, it's because I don't see a number in front, it's just a 1.
I actually do.
What?
I don't mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
but I'm
the
saying,
proof, but I do.
why did it become negative
Okay.
10?
Oh, it's x minus 10, so you remove the x, left over is the minus 10. So it's just what's left over.
Jerome.
Thank you. Have a good day.
2 minus 1 is 3.
So, hope this helps your review.